Hi everybody, I hope you're all well. It's Friday and it's blog time. Episode 7. Wednesday the 22nd of December 2010. We have just moved in to the Allambie house. An Allambie orphanage is now open. On Saturday morning, me and Charles were up early as we couldn't sleep. And soon after, Tiet, my other child, turned up with his clothes. I said goodbye to the lovely staff at my restaurant, my hotel, who have been very helpful and lovely as usual. And the three of us headed off to the new house in convoy. Shah in the taxi with the luggage, Tiet on his push bike, and me on my motorbike. The landlady was there to greet us with a big smile on her face, and my friend Jim was also waiting for us. I showed Tiet around his new house, and he was just so happy, with the biggest smile on his face I've ever seen. The two kids then ran upstairs, and I left them to sort out the rooms, whilst me and Jim and the landlady sorted the contract. I went through it with a fine-tooth comb, and once I was happy, we all signed, and I handed the landlady my passport. She opened it up and saw my Vietnamese name. She looked at me with a very shocked expression, then looked at the passport, then looked at me, then looked at the passport. Then, for about 15 minutes, she and Jim seemed to have a very heavy conversation. Now, when the Vietnamese talk, they talk quite loud and quite forcefully, which from an outsider's point of view can sometimes look like they're having one hell of an argument. But they're not. Anyway, the talking stopped, and then the landlady slapped me on the back, and I mean slapped me, which actually hurt, and then gave me a big hug, and then another slap on the arm. Jean informed me that she had told her about my life, being born in Vietnam, and then England, and why I had come back to Vietnam. She told Jim that I had a kind heart, and that I could live in her house for as long as I liked, and that she was not my landlady, but my sister now, and we were just a big extended family. So 2 hours later, everything was sorted. Me and the kids and the landlady then piled into a taxi, and she took us to a place out of Saigon City, to a shop called Metro. Well, it's just like our version of a big cash and carry. Everything is wholesale and everything is in bulk, which keeps the cost down. So I spent the next 2 hours with the landlady, slapping me on the back every 5 minutes, every time I picked something up and put it into the trolley. We then entered the food court, and I swear to God that I felt like I was a contestant on the supermarket sweep with Dow Winton, as the kids had me running up and down the aisles with the trolley as they filled it up with food. We finally left the shop with everything but the kitchen sink and crammed it into the taxi, and home we went. We spent the next few hours sorting everything out and stopped at 8 p.m. and I finally flopped into bed at midnight. At 4 a.m. I went downstairs as I thought I heard something, and there was Tiet sitting on the sofa. He couldn't sleep. I sat with Tiet and talked with him for a few hours. And I think it was just too much for him to take in, and was quite overwhelming for him. This child had been in the orphanage since he was 8. And he'd gone from the orphanage and left it, waiting for me to arrive. He had hardly been eating, and to suddenly go from that to a big house and have a fridge full of food was too much for him. As he curled up beside me, he just kept saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for making me safe." And I sat there and I held back my tears. Since then, we have done more shopping and the house is now complete with everything we need. And I cooked the kids their first meal. Now, yes, I am a qualified chef, but I don't know how to cook Vietnamese food. So for the first night, we ate spaghetti bolognese. The kids loved it. They both went back for seconds, which Tiet never does. I usually have to force him to eat, but I've noticed over the last few days since we have been in this house He is eating is much better. And he is a happy boy now, and he is talking a lot more. We have also had a few friends of mine round for dinner, which has been lovely, and we got our Christmas tree. And it was delivered to us on the back of a motorbike, already decorated with lights. So all we had to do was plug it in, not like England. It's been nearly 4 weeks since I arrived. When I left England, I had this vision in my head that by Christmas Day, me and some of the kids would be in the house. There have been times over those 4 weeks that even I thought maybe it was a dream too far. But somehow, through the tears and sleepless nights, I have somehow managed to make the dream turn into reality. I am so pleased to have this house, and for me to have some of the kids and to get them settled. I am still working on getting the others, but we're getting there, step by step, day by day. Now, I can't wait for Christmas Day, and we're having a house full of friends to celebrate. Christ only knows what I'm going to cook. The Vietnamese kitchens don't have ovens, just gas burners, so my chefing skills are really going to be tested. So fingers crossed. I can't wait to Skype friends and family on Christmas Day and introduce them to 2 of the Allambie children. Thank you.